This is SKN Football Weekly, the first show for 2019. Happy New Year. I'm Andre Hugh, your host, joined by LaShawn Nixon, my co-host. We're really excited about this year and what this year has in store for football in St. Kitts and Nevis. So we will be talking about a lot of things in this week's show. This week we'll be recapping the first weekend of action, playing at a different venue, St. Mary's Park in Keon, but we'll be talking more about that later on. Plus, later on in the show, we'll be previewing the matches for this coming weekend. And we're hoping to speak with a representative of the Village Superstars as they participate in the Caribbean Club Shield, which is going to be happening in April of this year. LaShawn, welcome to SK Football Weekly again. Happy New Year to you.
Yes, Happy New Year to you and Happy New Year to all the football loving public in St. Kitts and Nevis and the wider public as well. I'm happy to be back. I'm sure I've been missing for a bit, coming close to the end of last year, so I'm happy.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm happy that football is back.
I'm happy football is back and we're happy to have you back, so welcome back. And just to let you know, of course, we're at a different location. Normally we're at Football House and we see this nice fancy display. We're hoping to keep this up each and every week and try to give the SKN Football Weekly a new look for 2019. But we want to say a big thank you to the proprietors of Garvey's Estate. That's the Mill House, located in the Boyd's area on your way out of West Farm headed into Trinity. They're right there on the left. You just turn off the road, you come all the way down. This facility is actually available for rental. So for those persons looking to rent a location for party or a function, right here at Garvey's Estate, the Mill House, perfect location for you. Very great amenities, great atmosphere, very great landscaping. You really don't want to miss out on an opportunity like that. So you can check out Garvey's Estate whenever you want somewhere to book for your function. So we're going to start off as we normally do, recapping the games of last week. And we're going to look back at the matches played last weekend in the SKNFA National Bank Premier League.
The SKNFA National Bank Premier League resumed after the Christmas Carnival break on the weekend with cracking matches with some shock results in the process. The matches were held at the St. Mary's Park in Keon as the Warner Park Football Stadium was still not fully prepared from Carnival festivities in December. Let's start with the most recent matchup between Premier League heavyweights SL Horsford St. Paul's United versus S. Crave Newtown United. Both teams duked it out for two halves on Sunday but could only manage a 1-1 draw. Rashid Hodge of St. Paul's was issued a red card in the 13th minute for denying a goal by handling the ball. Orlando Mitchum converted from the penalty spot for Newtown in the 14th minute. A few moments later, St. Paul's earned a penalty and Darrell Challenger converted from the penalty spot in the 21st minute, equalizing for St. Paul's. Dagina Roberts of Newtown was shown a red card at the end of the match for abusive and threatening language towards the referee. At the end of the match, coach Iroy Kunga Jeffers of St. Paul's was satisfied with the point, considering his team played mostly with 10 men.
We played with 10 men football, maybe 80 plus minutes. So I'm proud of the guys, the hard work and the fighting spirit. Come up with a point.
Now, what's going to be the focus for this round? I mean, I know the last round wasn't a bad effort for you. I mean, you're in the Carnival Cup final. What's your focus for this round?
But the focus for this round is try and bring in as much points so we can be there for the Easter Cup.
Coach Earl Jones of Newtown, while satisfied with the draw, felt his team should have pressed for a winner, considering St. Paul's was down to 10 men for most of the match.
Well, we got to take it how it comes sometimes, but then still, after St. Paul's went down, so early in the game, I think it was a disappointment to us. You know?
He felt playing on a new field somehow affected his players' performance, but this, for him, was not an excuse not to win the match.
The players, it seems like, probably the weight of the field and probably how the wind is blowing and stuff. I think the players, my players, stay a little bit, long to adjust to it. And as I tell them half time, they're out there, they're supposed to regroup, talk to one another and see how they could best, deal with the situation at time.
In the weekend's other matches, Mantab FC drew 1-1 with Sol Allen Auto Supply's Connery FC. Scoring for Connery, Glenroy Samuel in the 45th plus first minute, while for Mantab, the equalizer came at the very start of the second half, the 46th minute, through Sylvester Alexander. In match number 2 on Saturday at Tiba Harris St. Peter's, they defeated Flow 4G Cairn Rockets 2-1. Tiquan Tyrell scored for St. Peter's in the 61st minute and Kareem Simmons in the 69th minute, only for Malik Hendrickson to score a consolation goal for Keon in the 90th minute. The other match on Sunday saw Fashcast Saddlers defeating Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs 1-0. Nickwan Phipps scored for Saddlers in the 23rd minute. Action will continue this weekend in the National Bank Premier League.
So there, a recap of the games played last weekend. We're going to be talking quickly about that before we go for a break. The games played last weekend, first of all, St. Mary's Park. The games are played at St. Mary's Park because the Warner Park Football Stadium was used for some carnival activity, or one particular carnival activity, and the stadium was not brought up to par in time for games to be played. And this weekend again, matches will also be played at the St. Mary's Park. Can't say at this time how soon the stadium will become available, but until then, all games will be played at the St. Mary's Park in Keon. Your thoughts, first of all, you were there, you saw the games last weekend. Your thoughts about the new venue for the time being? Is it coping? Are the players coping with it? Is it suitable?
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's a good experience for all the players, considering that when you're playing in other scenarios at international level, you'll face different stadiums with towering buildings, and
right.
So it's
like a home and away kind of situation.
Yes.
Right.
It offers an added experience for the players to go and play. For me, the pitch is magnificent.
It's in great shape actually. Yeah.
It's nice and flat. And if I had one criticism, it will be the probably orientation of it, because they change the orientation. It makes the fans too far away from the game. So I'm guessing the players won't be able to feel the atmosphere. Yeah,
the atmosphere as much. Yeah. Well, I guess it probably should work in favor of Keon in terms of home field advantage. But as you would have seen in the report that we just aired, the coach for Newtown, because I asked him if he felt the stadium somehow worked at a disadvantage for his players. They were not familiar with the field. And he did admit that they were not accustomed to the width of the field, because it seems to be wider than Warner Park, and so it was a little bit challenging there. But nonetheless, games will be played there again this weekend, so players, if they're not accustomed to it by now, they'll have to get accustomed to it. But let's start with the games played on the weekend. The game that I think everybody expected Keon would have won because it's home field advantage, they lost to Atiba Harris St. Peter's.
Yes, the Keon fans left the St. Mary's Park disappointed, having lost that game at home, the first home game for them in a very long time. The community came out to see the team. Some who probably would not have traveled to town came out to watch the game, and they left disappointed. But from what I understand, the team, the Keon team has been ravaged by injuries. But on the other side, the St. Peter's fans who made the trip to Keon, they left happy. St. Peter's were the best team form-wise at the end of the first round and the end of last year. And to start 2019 with the victory over Keon in Keon is a big result for them.
You think a change in sponsorship has anything to do with it? Because you're no longer sponsored by the previous sponsor, they're now sponsored by Atiba Harris.
Well, maybe some of the mojo from a team moved off at the team for them to go out and play like that.
Interesting. All right, but Keon, though they've not had a great run of form of late, they've had spotty run of form. They've won some, they've lost some. They are certainly not playing at their best right now.
Yes, in the middle of the first round, I made a statement that they're kind of in the middle of nowhere. They're not necessarily one of the best teams in the Premier Division, but then necessarily not the worst two. So they're kind of in the middle of nowhere at the moment. But we also have to understand that they also lost some players to transfers. I know they have lost some to injury, so so hopefully the moment will come back. The mojo will come back.
Well, I know the assistant coach, Jazza Buchanan, have said on more than one occasion, including at the close of last season, the first round, that a lot of the players are young players, and they're giving their blood in young players, and so they're in a rebuilding phase right now.
Yeah.
I don't think we can expect too much from Keon, but you know, anything is possible when you're in a playoff situation.
Yes.
So, all right, so let's move quickly to the other match that played on Saturday night. We had Sol Island All Supplies Connery drawing 1-1 with Saddlers, with Mantab, yes, with Mantab, right. Now, again, you talk about inconsistency. I guess Connery fits the bill when it comes to that.
Yes, this season most definitely they have been one of the most inconsistent teams so far, especially to the first round. They play good this weekend, and then you'd wonder if it's the same team who show up the other week. And that's what happened this weekend like this past weekend to open the 2019 return. They took a lead in the second half against Mantab, and then almost out of nothing Mantab found
The equalizer.
and even had opportunities to put the game away from Connery. So they'll definitely be disappointed with that kind of result to start 2019.
Mantab though continues to shock us. They've fared a lot better than we would have thought as a team that's newly promoted. What do you think is the ingredient for Mantab that's keeping them going the way they are right now?
I think the command, I think they play as a team. There's no one standout individual, but they play as a team, and it shows on the pitch. When someone does bad, they rally behind that individual. When they don't do good, they celebrate with that individual. So that's what I've seen from Mantab thus far.
Right. Moving on to the games played on Sunday, we had some really exciting games on Sunday. Well, first of all, we need to note this, that Old Road were scheduled to play the defending champions, Ranville Superstars. That match did not happen. We're not quite certain exactly what happened, but we were informed that Old Road seemed to have had some issues with their fielding a team, because it appears as if some of their players have moved on in transfers, and the team has been severely depleted. So now that game is going to be rescheduled for next week, Wednesday, the 23rd of January, and it's going to be, in this case, at the St. Mary's Park. So that is alarming news for Old Road. You know, they started out nicely as a newly promoted team. They got some shock victories, and they were doing well. Then they started to lose games, and they fell down to the bottom table. And I guess the players who left are just had enough.
Well, if it is true that they suffered a big loss of players, it will be disappointing for them, especially during the mid-season, and especially after, as we said, they started so well, they looked so good earlier on, and then it just went flat. So it will be very disappointing.
Very disappointing. But anyway, we will talk more about that later on as we preview the games for the weekend. Let's turn quickly now to a very surprising result, another surprising result that happened on Sunday. It is Fastcast Saddlers defeating Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs 1-0, and that was a shocker because I know we know Saddlers on their moment could beat any team, but still you're expecting the restart of the league, that Spurs, you know, being on the run they were on, that you want to get something out of this game. Unfortunately for them, it was a shocker.
Yes, the banana skin strikes again.
Spurs slipped on the banana skin, right?
Yes. But in the game, Saddlers for me were the better team from the very get-go. They were the better team, and they deserve a larger margin of victory. But
you take a 1-0.
Yes,
it doesn't really matter.
They most definitely take
the
result they got. Spurs, I thought they looked too rusty to start the year off. I'm guessing
too much ham, I guess.
They enjoyed Carnival too much. But they look rusty, but they grew into the game. They had a few opportunities later on to find the level up, but Saddlers was too resistant at the back and were able to hold on to the 1-0 victory.
Interesting. And then, of course, the big game of the weekend was definitely St. Paul's, SL Horses St. Paul's versus Escrape, Newtown United. That ended up in a 1-1 draw. Interesting enough, St. Paul's were down to 10 men very early in the game. They gave away a penalty, a handball, and stopping the ball from going in the goal. player was sent off, and eventually they managed to hold out. They got an equalizer from another penalty kick, and they managed to hold out to get the draw.
I think that game was played in two halves. Well, all games are played in two halves. But this game, the first 15 minutes or so was all Newtown. They could have had maybe 3 or 4 goals in that time. They got the penalty, they went up 1 goal. And then after going down a goal and a man, St. Paul's found a spirit, found a belief, and they started dominating the game, and then they eventually won a penalty themselves and slotted it their way and left with the game. St. Paul's later on in the game, the players started to tire, down to 10 men. They started to sit back, and it created some opportunities for them on the counter-attack, but they weren't able to capitalize on that.
Well, Coach Jones said in an interview post-match that he's happy, he's satisfied that they've gotten a draw, but he felt they could have gotten a win simply because they were a man up. He felt his players didn't adjust themselves to the width of the field and the different atmosphere at the stadium, and he felt that they could have done better. Newtown, they started the season off very hot, winning a lot of games. Then towards the tail end of the round 1, they lost a couple of games, and they lost out big and surprisingly in the Carnival Cup finals or semi-finals. So, are we seeing the beginning of a decline for Newtown this season, or is it just a blip?
I would call it a blip. I don't think it's a decline. The season's still early. It's a long season. You won't play at your maximum for the entire season. It's almost impossible to do. So for every team goes through it for a period in the season. It's how you bounce back from it, though, and don't let it ruin your season. So I think it's just a blip.
Just a blip. And for St. Paul's, they've had some mixed results coming down. They certainly bitterly disappointed in losing out in the Carnival Cup, having played so well, and putting themselves up twice, and only for Village to come back and clip it literally at the very last play of the game. They're certainly going to be coming into this round a little bit more focused, you think?
Yes, their team of strong, willed players. After what happened in the Carnival Cup, being up twice and then still end up losing.
Like a minute away from the penalty.
Yes, they'll be disappointed, but they're a team of strong, willed players, and I think they'll bounce back from it, from that disappointment.
All right. Well, we'll see because you're playing Village this weekend, so that should be interesting. All right. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be previewing the games, and as I told you, as I spoke about Village, we will be having a representative, hopefully, from the Village Superstars to talk to us about their participation in this year's Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield that's happening in April. The lone team from St. Kitts and Nevis representing the federation. All that and more when we come back.
At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like your boat when you're at sea and you get away from everything. Your home and the security of your daughter's things. And the car that you've had for too long, but after all these years, you just can't let go. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
Meridian Medical Pharmacy is the best place to get your pharmaceutical products. We make filling prescriptions easy. Our well-stocked pharmacies are ready to serve you. Check us for medical supplies, skin products, supplements, and so much more. Ask about flu vaccines. At Meridian Medical Pharmacy, we are focused on offering a professional, personalized pharmacy experience. Our service is personal, compassionate, and friendly. Located at our state-of-the-art medical facilities at the corner of South Independence Square Street and Adlam Street, downtown Bastyr, St. Kitts. And now we have a new branch on Frigate Bay Road in the Sugars Complex. Call 465-5096 and 465-3306 or email pharmacy@meridianmedcons.com. Visit Meridian Medical Pharmacy today and experience professional customer care and fast prescription fill-in service. Meridian Medical Pharmacy.
I'm only one call away.
Get that special someone in your life an iPhone 10 for Valentine's Day. Sounds interesting? Then come to KFC and enter to win a brand new iPhone 10. Yes, a brand new iPhone 10. It's simple. Spend $30 or more at KFC from now until the 13th of February. Log on to www.kfcstKitssurvey.com. Complete the survey. Write the validation code on the back of the receipt along with your name and phone number and return to any cashier. Draw date is Valentine's Day. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
No, you're not alone, I'm only one call away.
Change the way you watch TV. Introducing EarTV KN, the new way to watch TV. Watch real-time TV, your favorite shows and channels on any smart TV or mobile device from any location. Starting as low as $75 per month, get up to 3 devices connected on one account. With EarTV, you can watch movies on demand. Over 4,000 titles to choose from, with 3-day trials available. Works on Amazon Fire TV devices, Android phone tablets, and Apple iPhone and iPad. Includes over 500 channels in HD and 4K. Simple to use plug-in and play technology, and pay as you go month to month. No long-term commitments, no cancellation fee, and get professional support. Call us to subscribe to EarTV KN at 869-661-2478 or check us out on Facebook. Make your television experience greater by getting EarTV KN now. Incredible, impressive, and affordable. EarTV KN.
Welcome back to SKN Football Weekly. I'm Andre Huey, my co-host LaShawn Dixon. We are back here after reviewing the games from last week. We're looking forward to the games coming up this weekend. But just to let you know, we're coming to you live from the Mill House, Garbs Estate in Boyds. It's a fantastic facility. If you have any event, wedding, party, whatever the function is, you can rent a spot here in the conference room or the rec center here at the Mill House, Garbs Estate in Boyds. Now, LaShawn, we're going to look at the games coming up this weekend. We have some quite exciting games to look at. We have, for example, the first game on Saturday at 6 p.m., or rather at 5 p.m., the United Old Road Jets versus Fast Gas Saddlers. And again, we must remind our viewers that the games will be at the St. Mary's Park in Keon. It's going to actually be starting an hour earlier, because normally we'll start at 6 at the Warner Park. This week they're starting at 5. So at 5 o'clock, it's Saddlers versus Old Road. That's interesting because these are two teams that will be duking it out probably, for the last 2 spots, try to avoid relegation. Still round 2, still early days, but still anything is possible.
Yes, I mean, 6 points, you could dub it as 2 bogey sides, 2 sides. You never know what could pop up from them at any given day. Saddlers would be buoyed by the fact that they defeated Spurs last week. Old Road is their first game since the Christmas and Carnival break, so they'll be up to the task.
Definitely. So Saddlers certainly be up to the task. Old Road, they need to get into the frame of mind right now. I mean, with that postponed game last week, and if what we are hearing is true, that is certainly going to play into your psyche. You have a depleted squad, you have a depleted team. Some of your players may have left or requested transfer. Seem to be some turmoil going on there, and they will have to pick themselves up and move on with it. And this is a good opportunity for them to do that.
Yes. This is a good opportunity to put all the drama behind and get on the field and prove your worth. It may be difficult if what we're hearing is true, the amount of players they may have lost. So it is just to put that behind them and let the player in the field speak for them. Speak for itself, yeah.
I need to sing Mary J. Blige, no more drama. No more drama, we need to move on. All right, the other match of the night, which will be at 7 o'clock, is SL Horse and St. Paul's versus Rams Village Superstars. That is the repeat of the Carnival Cup finals. It promises to be exciting because St. Paul's will want to take revenge for what happened in the Carnival Cup. Still probably bitter with that defeat. Village, on the other hand, they want to start off the year right.
Yes. Village, I'm sure they would have been disappointed after not getting to play last week when everybody else played. I'm sure they were up for it. But to start against St. Paul's, that would be tricky after St. Paul's having played last week, having to get to shake off somebody was Brownsville Superstars probably would have hoped for an easier start to the year, but
which they would have had last week.
Yes, but that shouldn't be an excuse.
Well, they are the defending champions. You know, there's no excuse. They are the defending champions. But St. Paul's, I mean, compared to how they played last week, they don't seem rusty at all. But again, you know, they're strong defensively, but again, not scoring enough goals, and that has always been their concern. Do you think they'll be able to shake off the goal rust? Because they did had a goal fest at the end of round one last year. So is this the beginning of a new, you know, of the floodgates opening for St. Paul's?
I'm sure they're hoping that would be the case, but last week didn't show the old St. Paul's.
The old St. Paul's, right.
The grit and grind team. But Brownsville Superstars would be a great test for them. And it's a game fans wouldn't want to miss.
Right. So those two games coming to you on Saturday. Now, normally our sister radio station, Voice of the Caribbean Radio, will be broadcasting the 8 o'clock game, or in this case, the 7 o'clock game. However, because of the new arrangements at the St. Mary's Park, we have not yet set up our network to broadcast from there. Now, we're going to watch, of course, in the next few weeks to see how many games or how many more weeks will be actually played at St. Mary's Park. If it's probably going to be longer than we expect, then we will find a way to make it possible. However, the facilities are there at the Warner Park, and so we prefer to broadcast from the Warner Park, or it's much easier for us to do that. But again, like I said, if the situation is prolonged, then we will see how best we can set up our system to broadcast the game, the 7 o'clock game at least, from the Warner Park Football Stadium on Saturday. So in other words, we won't be having a broadcast this Saturday. We didn't have one last week. And if we go beyond the third week at the St. Mary's Park, then we will have to see how best we can bring you the games. Because I know especially our viewers from overseas look forward to the games being broadcast live on Voice of the Caribbean Radio. So let's move on to Sunday. We have S-Crave Newtown United taking on Elko Limited St. Peter's. Now, Newtown, they want to start getting some points. When I said Elko Limited, I mean Atiba Harris St. Peter's, they changed their sponsor. St. Peter's would want to continue that momentum from last week. You get a victory from Keon, you want to snare Newtown now.
Yes, St. Peter's had a rough first round. They went down 6 games before they got a point. To start the second round, it has proven to be much more fruitful for them, especially beating Keon in their own backyard. That was a big win for them with the new sponsorship as well. Newtown, they drew with St. Paul's. They started the game very, very well, but after St. Paul's going to the game, they look very, very, very vulnerable, especially defensively. But it's shaping up to be a good game. So if St. Peter's can continue the way they started the year, it could be a good game in Kenya.
Definitely. It will be interesting to see how St. Peter's, how they respond, if they're going to continue that momentum, or is it going to see the same old St. Peter's. But Newtown, on the other hand, like we said, you know, you believe it's a blip. They've not had some great results over the last few weeks. This may be the perfect opportunity for them to build, to regain momentum.
Yes. Every game we will be seen as that if they continue the blip, as we call it. But for the most of the first round and the ending of last year, they were one of the top teams in the park. But since they were dealt a blow by Saddlers, they seem very vulnerable. So I don't know if the scouts from the other side have picked up what their weaknesses are and are using it now against them. But it's shaping up to be a good game.
It definitely is. And for Newtown to start also hot, and now just this is the second round. So, but like you said, the season is still long. Anything is possible. Let's look at the next match, and it's going to be a very interesting match. It's the home side, so to speak. Flow 4G Cairn Rockets versus Mantab. Mantab, like I said, they've been performing relatively well over the last few weeks. Cairn, after that disappointment last week, they would want to try to get a win, something for the home fans to cheer about.
Yes. after what happened last week, the whole fans were left disappointed. They came out to see the team play at home, and they left disappointed. So this is a good redemption chance for KR Rockets. Mantab, they themselves, they could probably consider this as a home game as well, as it's been played in the east, so it's closer. So some more of their fans may be able to come over and have a view of the team. But as we said earlier, KR ravaged by injuries. Earlier in the season, they were ravaged by transfers. They have something to prove in this game.
Not a very exciting season for KR so far. But as for Mantab though, they have a lot to be thankful for and to be grateful for, and so they're looking forward to try to. I mean, even if they were to lose this game, they would still be pleased that they were able to get so far. A team like Connery, they were able to get 3 points from them. They got a point last week, and 4 points. Yeah, because they got 3 points last round. So they're looking pretty good.
Yes, they look like a solid Premier Division side. If they continue to play the way they have been playing, I think they will definitely be safe in the Premier League for another year. And this weekend, as we said, we KR ravaged by injuries. This could be a good opportunity to come in KR's backyard and take a 3 points.
Yeah, indeed. And the final game on the weekend, we're going to be seeing the Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs. They're taking on Salt Island Auto Supplies Connery FC. This is going to be an interesting game because these two teams have had mixed results of late. Spurs losing last week, Connery drawing last week. Both teams need 3 points.
Yes, considering what happened last week, Spurs definitely would want to get 3 points. They finished round one really, really strong, but thus far in 2019, since the turn of the year, they have yet to get put any points on the board. They all played one game. They looked a bit rusty against Sadras, hopefully. But they go into the game, so hopefully they can put that behind them and take off against Connery. But for Connery, on the other hand, they let's say they gave away 3 points against 2 points against Mantab last week. After leading the game, they should have put away a team like Mantab, as you would say. No disrespect to Mantab, but a team of Connery's experience, you would expect them to put away Mantab after leading.
But the interesting thing about Connery is that they are the defending Easter Cup champions, and we're in round 2, which is the Easter Cup come April. But if this topsy-turvy relationship they have with winning continues, then they could not be in the Easter Cup to defend their title.
Yes, and that would be disappointed if they're not if they don't get the chance to defend their title. They often seem to do well in these cup competitions, so they would want to be in it. So let's hope they could find their straps and have a strong second round, remainder of the second round.
Right. Before we end on this segment, Spurs, I had Deco and the coach, that is Deco Huggins, on the show, the last show last year, and he basically explained that the team is gradually adopting the philosophy, but he has been affected by injuries. Now those players have come back, so he expects to have a strong run in the second round. If they don't make it into the cup competition this season, could we say that Spurs could be on the verge of not making the playoffs, or even best yet, not doing well in the playoffs if they do make it?
I think they will make the playoffs, but I can see a scenario where they don't do well in the playoffs. They have been spotty, as I said. They started the season very, very poorly, and then they had that magnificent game against Ramsfield Superstars that Saturday night in Warner Park, and then it just got better for them in the first round and to start the second round. But their first game they slipped up, and I think they will be in the playoffs, but I think it's fair to say they may struggle in the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But I have no fortune teller.
Well, speaking of fortune telling, we'll have a predictor game coming up later on. We won't have the results from the last one yet, or basically how well each of us are doing, but we'll have that for the next show for you. But right now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, that representative I spoke to you about from the Village Superstars, we'll be joined by them to talk about their participation in the Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield. We'll be right back.
Creole Restaurant and Bar at the Sugars Complex specializes in authentic local and Caribbean cuisine. Visit us every day for our fine dishes, excellent juices, and great customer service. Why cook on Fridays? Try our Friday buffet lunch menu of spice, rub ribs, stewed chicken, wings with seasoned rice, crepes, organic mixed salad, sweet potato pie, steamed vegetables, and so much more. Get a complimentary drink with a buffet only at $45 EC, or try our lunch special every day. There is something sumptuous in store. Creole Restaurant and Bar, located upstairs Sugars Complex. Call 465-2473 or 662-2473. Creole Restaurant and Bar, the perfect getaway.
The National Bank Premier League in St. Kitts is back, and Voice of the Caribbean Radio is bringing live coverage with the SKNFA Match of the Week. Every Saturday evening at 8 p.m, Voice of the Caribbean Radio will be broadcasting the Premier League Match of the Week at www.voiceofthecaribbean.net or sknfa.com.
Shot taken, and in the back of the net!
We'll bring you the action through live commentary and analysis with pre-game, halftime, and post-game shows, live and direct from the Warner Park Football Stadium. That's the SKNFA Match of the Week on Voice of the Caribbean Radio in partnership with the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association, bringing live radio coverage every Saturday at 8 p.m. from now till the end of the season, only on voiceofthecaribbean.net or sknfa.com. Live football action from St. Kitts every Saturday on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, your Caribbean sports leader.
I am floored. That is a scorcher of a goal. That's the best.
The Cable, we provide much more than just the fastest and most reliable internet service. We fill the homes of all our customers with joy and laughter. Our services connect friends and keep families together. With the most extensive fiber optic network, we ensure that you can enjoy the things you love with the people you love. Whether it's catching up with family or old friends, or simply just enjoying your favorite TV shows, people choose the Cable because quality shows.
Now you can have SKN Newsline on the go. Introducing SKN Newsline Android mobile app. Search SKN Newsline in the Google Play Store. Download the app free and stay up to date with TV news in St. Kitts and Nevis in the palm of your hands. With this app, you can watch your news reports, watch our live news feed on SKN Newsline TV, engage with us and other app users in the chat room, look at our special features, send us news tips, and call us directly. It's news on the go. The SKN Newsline Android mobile app. Download it free today.
Welcome back to SKN Football Weekly. I'm Andre Huey, and as I promised you, we have an interview with a representative of the St. Kitts, of the Ramsey Superstars, representing St. Kitts in the Caribbean Club Shield, the Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield. That's going to be happening in April, sometime in April. This is a competition. It's like the Champions League, so to speak, of club football in the Caribbean. So UEFA, Europeans, they have their UEFA Champions League and the Europa League. But here in the Caribbean, we have the Concacaf Caribbean Shield, and the winner of that competition will eventually move on to represent the Caribbean in the Concacaf Champions League, which will now involve the teams from Central America, North America, and of course the Caribbean. So here we go to that interview, and we'll come back to close off the show with our predictor game.
Well, as you know, we are the defending champion, just coming off a successful season where we were crowned champions, so we'll be taking part in the Club Shield. starting on April 5th to the 15th. We will draw in a group with Antigua and St. Lucia, and the top 2 teams from that zone will be going on to the quarterfinals, then the semifinals. The way it's set up, the preliminary game is going to play from the 5th to the 9th. Top 2 teams from each zone will play the quarterfinals on the 11th. If you win that round, you play the semifinals on the 13th, then the final on the 15th, and you return home on the 16th. So I'm going to say we're going to return home on the 16th because we're heading to the finals.
How's preparation been going?
Well, right now it's just beginning to heat up because we had Carnival break, which we're coming off a 3-peat back-to-back Carnival Cup champion, so we were celebrating a lot over the season. And the team is just getting together, along with, we had some players left, some players in, because the transfer window finished today. So we got to get back together and drill and prepare for come April.
Now, how important is this competition to the village?
It's very important, especially for the players, because it's, to me, you go out there and you market yourself in a sense. There are going to be a lot of scouts out there. So we have quite a few youngsters. We have Kimari, we have Tata, we have quite a lot of few youngsters, but those are the main players. We have Devon Amri. So they're looking forward to go out there and take part in this tournament and hopefully make a name for themselves and get a contract out there. So it's very important for the players and also the team to make a mark on Caribbean football.
Now, last year we saw Ken participate in the competition and had to come back, try to catch up with some games to get to the playoffs. And some people felt that, by participating in the competition, it affected their performance at the domestic level. You think that would be a worry?
Yes, very much so. It's because the season don't stop. So all the games you miss, you have to catch up. So our aim is to, by the time we leave here, we're going to be qualified for the final 6. So when we come back, we don't have to be pressing too much to get in the final 6. And it's better for us in a sense, because last year was the final 4, this year is the final 6. So to me, it's a little less pressure. That is not going to be any pressure. But our aim is to qualify by the time we leave here, so we don't have to come back and push, because it takes a toll on the players.
Now, that competition, obviously, the level of play is going to be much higher than the local level. You're playing champion teams from various clubs, from various countries.
Yes.
How much of is Village aware of players or some of the teams that they're going to be facing, at least in the preliminary?
Yeah, well, I think the players that we have, mostly at least 7 of them have played for the national team. So they know what it takes to be out there. You have Bombers, as I said, you have Tata, Tiwan, Moghead. We have about 8 players playing on the national team. So they are aware of what it takes to be out there playing in a professional environment, not because it's the Caribbean, it's a professional environment. So I think that's going to help us cope with the tournament.
Lastly, playing in this competition as well, it's something that I think a lot of club teams aspire for. How much do you think this will help the image of the club in general, despite how you may finish in the competition?
Yeah, I think it's going to help us well, because coming from a small country, people don't expect us to do big things. But as Kabi say, we're small, but we're taller. So we got to go out there and show the Caribbean and show people that we're not just a small country, but we can play football. And also, it's already paid off for us, because there's a company out there that wants to give us a contract. It's called a uniform contract, a jersey contract, where they're going to be providing us with $10,000 worth of equipment, jersey, balls, everything. And that's because we were the champion and we played in the Champions League. So really have paid off already, and it could pay off even bigger, because as I said, we're hoping that 1 or 2 players could sign a contract and move on to bigger and better things. So I think it's a good opportunity for the club and for the players.
One more thing, how much do you know about the teams you're going to face? Hoppers, for example, Antigua, they are a champion team, and so to the team from
Well, we don't know much, me personally don't know much about the team from St. Lucia, but we know a bit about Hoppers, because we had 1 or 2 players that went to play. And semi-pro in Antigua, because Antigua is a semi-pro league. It's not just like our tournament where all our players is based locally. They have 1 or 2, maybe half the team is based from around the Caribbean. We know they have a player from Brazil, a couple of them from different countries. But that doesn't scare us anyway. So we have players who have been in the international scene as well. So I think we're going to cope well. But the team from St. Lucia, we're doing some research on them, but at this present moment, we don't know much about them. So trust me, we're going to do well. We're going to be the first team to qualify.
For all your printing needs at top-notch quality, go to Digital Print Plus, located on Princess Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts. At Digital Print Plus, you get the best in business cards, letterheads, envelopes, wristbands, tent cards, rack cards, flyers, brochures, logo designs, posters, photos, architectural designs, 3D renderings, and so much more. Digital Print Plus gives you the best quality at competitive prices. Contact us at 767-7468 or email digitalprintskn@gmail.com or follow us on Facebook at digitalprintskn. Digital Print Plus for all your printing needs at the best quality.
Why read the news when you can watch it? Introducing SKN Newsline, the Federation's only online TV news platform. SKN Newsline is an online TV news platform covering news in St. Kitts and Nevis. We provide a daily and accurate news on the big stories and stories of interest that other media outlets have ignored. You can watch SKN Newsline on our website, www.sknnewsline.com, or Facebook page at www.fb.com/SKN Newsline, and also subscribe to our SKN Newsline YouTube channel. SKN Newsline, your world, your news.
Uptown Pizza and Cafe in Charlestown, Nevis offers the widest variety in sumptuous lunches found anywhere on the island. Come for a delicious pizza of any topping: pepperoni, veggie, margarita, chicken and pineapple, and more. Try the special dishes: wings at various flavors, sweet Thai chili, spicy barbecue, and more. Uptown Pizza and Cafe also offers the best in burgers: Fiesta Burger, Barbecue Cheddar Burger, and much more. Come to Uptown Pizza and Cafe, located at Cedar Trees, Charlestown, opposite the park. Call 663-0525 or 469-3052. Also visit them on Facebook. Search Uptown Pizza. Uptown Pizza and Cafe. Local cuisine, international flavor.
Welcome back to the final segment of SKN Football Weekly. I'm Andre Huey at the just there. You just heard the interview there with a representative from the Rams Village Superstars. We're now getting ready for our predicted game. Now, we did play the game the last time around. We didn't get a chance to recap it because at that show, LaShawn was not on that show, and then didn't come for the remaining shows, so we didn't get a chance to recap that. But we're going to do that next week. What we're going to do this week, we're just going to get straight into the game this week and predict who we expect to win. So, LaShawn, let's start with you. We have, of course, as we said, United Old Road Jets taking on Saddlers, Fastcast Saddlers United. Who do you have winning that game?
I will go with Saddlers 2.
Saddlers 2. I'm going to say a draw. I think these two teams, but then again, you know what? I'm going to go with Saddlers. If what we're hearing is true about the Old Road team situation, they're not probably going to be in the right frame of mind to play this weekend. So I'm going to say 2-1 Saddlers. So I'm going to give Old Road a win. Shomar, what do you say? Saddlers 2. Alright, so we'll take a note of that. Then we have SL Horse and St. Paul's taking on Ramsey Superstars. This is a big game. This is a big game, and this was a hard one to call.
Yes, this is definitely difficult to call, but I will say 2-2 draw.
A 2-2 draw. Yes. I'm going to say Village are going to come out cold. Having not played last week, I am going to say St. Paul's 2-1. I'll say St. Paul's 2-1. Village? Really? 2-0? Or draw? Village will draw? Okay, so both of you say Village will draw. Alright, cool. No problem. Let's see what happens on Sunday now. We see Esgrave Newtown United taking on Atiba Harris St. Peter's. Now, St. Peter's have let us down before. I don't know if I should say St. Peter's will get this one. What do you say?
I believe St. Peter's riding a high from last week. Newtown probably disappointed not to beat St. Paul's with 10 men. And I'm going to go for the upset, and I'm going to say 1-0 St. Peter's.
You know what? I feel inclined to say the same thing. But you know what? Let me just stick with Newtown. I think Newtown are going to pull it off. I'm going to say 3-1 Newtown. 3-1 Newtown. I don't expect you to say anything other than Newtown. All right, so that's it for that one. Let's go to the next game. We have Mantab taking on Flow 4G Ken Rockets. Keana, they are at home. They are expected to win this, but guess what? I'm going to go for a shocker. I'm going to go for a draw. I think Mantab is going to get a draw 2-2.
I can't go against Keana. I can't.
Because you can't go back home. You can't go back home if you do that, right?
Keana would not lose 2 games
at home.
After last week's disappointment, I think they're going to come out wanting to impress the fans at Keana, and I'm going to say 2-0 Keana.
Alright, I'm going to limb to see that too. I just think Mantab might just be able to pull it off. And finally, Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, 2-0. Alright. And the last game, Newtown, Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs taking on Salt Island Auto Supplies Connery.
This is probably the toughest game to call.
It is the toughest game to call. Yes, believe it or not.
Both teams have been disappointed this season. Both teams were disappointed last week. Spurs more so because they lost. Connery because they lost the lead. I will have to say 0-0 draw.
0-0 draw. I don't think they're going to be any goalless games at St. Park. I'm going to go with Connery needs to get a win. So do the Spurs, but Spurs are in a better run of form. Spurs are also higher in the table. So because of the desperation, I'm going to say Connery, and they're going to come out 2-1 victors. Connery 1-0. All right. So there you have it. So next week we'll have the results for you, and we'll have the updated scores in terms of how we're all doing, and we'll let you know. I know Lashon and I are tied actually. Shamar came in late in the game, so he's behind, but not because he didn't do well, just because he started late. But this is how we're going to end SK Football Weekly this week. Thank you very much, Lashon and Shamar, and for being all of us for watching the show. And again, we want to let you know that we're coming to you from the Garvey's Estate in Boyds at the location, fantastic location, great view and great facilities. You should check them out when it comes to booking your next event. I'm Andre Huey. Thank you for watching SKN Football Weekly. Join us next week for another edition of the show.